Hey, good evening, Ohio Valley. Meteorologist Tyler Vangi. We have an emergency across Marshall County, West Virginia. So looking just to the south of Moundsville, we have a brief spin up here, which could be a tornado. Now, we haven't had it confirmed just yet, but we do have that tornado warning cell moving through south of Moundsville. So keep this in mind. It is outlined until 6:45 p.m. Marshall County, West Virginia. Let me jump off screen and let's dive into this at a street look. This just got issued here just around 6:35 p.m. So let's dive into that, and they just updated the box. So Bel Air, Shadyside, Moundsville, seek shelter immediately. This is going to move northeasterly just to the south of Moundsville. So there's that recent update as of 6:38 p.m. Let me show you what it looks like here as far as reflectivity. So a massive thunderstorm. We have this whole line of thunderstorms that are currently moving through the Panhandle. So they're moved through Guernsey, Noble, Monroe, Belmont. Now they're making their way just south of Moundsville, where we have just been pinged for that tornado warning. So if you tuned into 7 News at 6, you would have heard me talking about how we have started to see some rotation, but at the current time we hadn't seen any rotation as of 6 p.m. Now we're starting to see that rotation as it feeds over the Ohio River. We've seen this over the past few days. Now the storms were continuing to build into Allegheny County and Washington just yesterday, where we saw that EF0 tornado. But let's dive more into this, into Moundsville. I want to show you guys here on storm relative velocity. You can really see how the reds are moving away from our PBZ, our Pittsburgh radar, and here those green indicating the wind speeds are heading towards Pittsburgh. So that's cyclonic rotation. That means the storm itself is strengthening, and we're starting to notice that rotation. Here's how it looks as far as the last few minutes within that embedded cell itself. So there at the rotation, and then the ping there as of, let's see what the time frame is, right around 6:32 p.m., 6:33 p.m. So that's going to move just south of Moundsville. We're talking about Marshall County, West Virginia. This does encompass Belmont, Brooke, Marshall, and Monroe, but I'm mainly concerned with Marshall County, West Virginia. Eventually, this is going to move just south of I-70. If you are in this immediate area, please seek shelter immediately. Let's dive into a street view so we can time out this and talk about what to do. Now, you should already have those plans set in stage of what your family members are to be doing, seeking shelter immediately in the centrist part of your house, away from windows. It seems to be so common nowadays that people, the first thing they hear or do when they talk about tornadoes is run outside to take a video or a picture. Please do not do that. Check out this this shot over here on Moundsville. Can we pull that up by chance onto to our viewers to show them that? Check out this. This is a live shot over Moundsville right now. Just check out these wind speeds. They're right around 60 miles per hour gusting out there, so they're definitely damaging wind speeds nonetheless. Now, we're looking just northeast of Moundsville. Let me jump back onto the radar here, or velocity, sorry. So let's time this out now. For those living into Marshall County, into the northern portion, this is your time now to be taking those precautionary measures. There's a recent update, not a whole lot of circulation as far as tight circulation, not a tight couplet, but a very wide, vague rotation there. But let me give you a timed out look so you know when to expect this into northeastern portions of Marshall County, West Virginia. So we're traveling right around 30 miles per hour. Expect to see this in West Findlay right around 7:03 p.m. East Findlay, West Findlay, right around 7 o'clock. If you guys are just now tuning in, we're covering this line of thunderstorms that has now developed a tornado-warned cell just to the northeast of Marshall County, West Virginia. And it's just northeast, sorry, of Moundsville in Marshall County, West Virginia. This is the cell that we are currently talking about right here over Moundsville. It's shifting to the north right now into the northeastern portion. I'm sorry to interrupt your guys' regular scheduled broadcasting, but once again, we have immediate danger for those living in Moundsville. So please seek shelter immediately. Reach out to your family members. I know a lot of people are having those get-togethers. If you live in Moundsville, Grandview Road, Limestone, Sherrard, McMecken, seek shelter immediately. Go to the basement. If you are near a window, you're in the wrong. Get away from those windows. Don't try to snap a photo or video. It is not worth your life. Now, we've already been seeing pea-sized hail reported within this system. This is a long line of thunderstorms. We have severe thunderstorm warnings up and down the Ohio River Valley. So they're currently feeding off the Ohio River, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some more rotation within this. So there's a look at the current rotation. We still have a little bit of a hook here going towards the National Weather Service Pittsburgh radar, but not a whole lot of tight circulation there. So that's good news. Let's check out if we're seeing anything being lifted. So nothing as far as debris being detected, but I am still concerned with the hail potential out there. If you guys have the chance to park that car in the garage, or if you know anybody traveling along I-70 here from Washington to Wheeling, tell them, avoid it. Seek shelter immediately, pull off, go to Buffalo if you're towards Washington. Try to avoid this cell as much as possible. There's how the cell looks itself. Let's see if we can see any rotation over the last 15 minutes. So the cell eventually moved up. I think we just got pinged another one now into Ohio County, but let me verify that. We had that weird hook when they first initially dropped the box that kind of outlined Belmont, Brook, Marshall, and Monroe, but then they dropped it to really signature that one cell right over Moundsville, and that's what really caught my attention. Check out how it had a brief rotation. Now there's a common misconception that these tornadoes don't travel across the Ohio River, but it doesn't really make sense that they wouldn't. So just saying, Moundsville, keep an eye on this cell still. Even though it's moving out of Moundsville right now and it's moving northeasterly, this still could produce some hail out there. So just keep that in mind and seek shelter immediately if you live northeast of Moundsville. If you have family members that live out there south of Wheeling, tell them there is severe weather on the way. We have a tornado warned cell outlining us until 6:45 p.m. Now we have about a minute until we get another update here from the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. I'm just going to check and see if we have anything in the chat in regards to damage or actual funnel being spotted within this cell. So I'm going to jump out so everyone can see where we're at on the map and see what they're outlined in. Severe thunderstorm warnings up and down the block here. Jefferson, Harrison, into parts of Belmont. Now, your storms, they're starting to leave your area. They're not as severe, but we have seen some really strong gust fronts right around 60 miles per hour. So that could easily tear some siding off the side of your house or a corner of your roof if you have a weak spot in your roof. Okay, so they're clarifying what happened there with the first initial polygon. You see how that red line just draws up all the way into parts of Brook and Ohio. That was an initial error in the polygon being shown to the public there by the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. So they're just clarifying that, yeah, it is exactly this cell right here over Moundsville, and we're going to give you a street view look here. We're taking out that time lapse, and we're going to check out Sherrard because that's where I'm more concerned with right now for the current time being. That's where you're going to start to see those really damaging winds. See how this green is just wrapping right here into the storm. Okay, so it looks like they're getting ready to drop the box, or they have just now dropped the box as we're not seeing as much rotation. So we're going to get ready here in the next couple of minutes to give you guys back to regular scheduled broadcasting and get you back to the show. What were you guys watching again? What was that? Oh, okay, just the weekend news. Okay, so yeah, we're just checking this out. McMecken, for the current time being, severe thunderstorm warning still outline the Panhandle. I don't want to just drop coverage right now and just disregard everything. Although we're not seeing the rotation right now, we still have all these severe thunderstorm warning boxes up and down the coast. So let me just check this out really quick, make sure I'm not seeing any more rotation. Now, the National Weather Service, they dropped their box, but they could easily drop another one here in the next county over. So let's check out how the rotation looks. You see a little bit of a hook there over Moundsville, then it starts to move north into Ohio County, but we'll see if we see any rotation. Like I was talking about earlier, that common misconception that these tornadoes can't travel over the river. That's just not true. We've seen it before, but it is possible that the tornado could have lost its rotation as it moved over the river, and that's why maybe the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has dropped the box. But as of 6:50 p.m., I would like to get you guys back to regular scheduled broadcasting. In the meantime, make sure you're following me on Facebook and X. If you have family members in the region, they're just staying here, you're new to the area, and you're just now tuning on 7 News because you don't really understand the region, but you want to know what's going on with the weather. Make sure you're following me on Facebook and X. I will provide all these coverages as these storms move through. Now, these aren't the only storms that we're going to be dealing with for this Memorial Day weekend. We're actually going to see another round of this. This is the warm front rolling through with these severe thunderstorms warning in that tornado warning cell that has now expired as of 6:40 p.m. But off to the west, we'll see the cold front roll through, and that's going to be right around the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. We're going to see another chance to see a cold front brew all this warm moisture parked here at the surface provided by this warm front, and that's just going to spark things again in our atmosphere. So make sure you're receiving or have a way to receive those notifications through the late night hours tonight into Memorial Day. Now, at this time, I would like to try to get you guys back to regular scheduled broadcasting. Let me know where we're at in terms of that while I continue to talk about these severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay, so it sounds like we're just about ready to wrap up this coverage. Thank you guys for once again tuning in. Storm Tracker 7 meteorologist Tyler Vangi, just trying to seek shelter, or help you guys seek shelter immediately in chances of that tornado briefly spinning up. So Moundsville, if you guys have any damage, please reach out to your local authorities and report it to them, and we will report it to the rest of you guys out there in public. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Storm Tracker 7 meteorologist Tyler Vangi. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.